Namaskar, I welcome all to the digital media of Uday India, and today in India Things I want to speak something about that is cooking in Indian media. What Trump said about USAID and its payments in India. Friends, after this regime change in US, I'll speak about the unraveling US deep state interference in India in a crucial accusation regarding Indian elections. US President Donald Trump once again questioned the rationale behind spending $21 million on voter turnout in India through USAID. Donald Trump suggested that the money was potentially used to influence elections, adding that US should address the Indian government, calling the situation a total breakthrough. Why do we need to spend $21 million on voter turnouts in India? I guess they were trying to get somebody else elected. We have got to tell the Indian government this is a total breakthrough. He stated during a summit in Miami, and this accusation has reaffirmed what Narendra Modi government has been saying for all this while about the role of US foreign assistance in shaping political narratives in our country, India, while ostensibly aimed at promoting democracy and increasing voter turnout. Such grants have historically been leveraged as a tool for exerting influence of sovereign nations, particularly by the US deep state. The USAID has frequently been deployed under the guise of democracy promotion. Yes, yet its track record in various countries suggests the pattern of strategic intervention favoring opposition movements or governments aligned with the US. Aligned with US interest, in fact. In India, the Modi government has expressed concern over foreign-backed non-governmental organizations, NGOs, influencing internal affairs, particularly those receiving funding from entities linked to USAID.
Seen information that has been put out by the US administration regarding certain USAID activities and funding. These are obviously very deeply troubling. This has led to concerns about foreign interference in India's internal affairs. Relevant departments and agencies are looking into this matter. It would be premature to make a public comment at this stage. So, relevant authorities are looking into this matter, and hopefully we can come up with an update on that subsequently.
The India government has tightened regulations on foreign funding for NGOs precisely to curb what it sees as undue external interference in domestic matters, a move that has been met with resistance from Washington and various global advocacy groups. The Indian government's concerns are not unfounded considering the pattern of US meddling in neighboring Bangladesh. And recently, in New Delhi has vocally criticized what it perceived as US effort to destabilize the Sheikh Hasina government, particularly through funding directed at opposition groups and civil society organizations that have challenged her administration. Now, the $29 million program aimed at strengthening Bangladesh's political landscape would very well be interpreted as a covert attempt to bolster opposition forces against ruling Awami League. Bangladesh's strategic location in the Bay of Bengal and its increasing cooperation with India and China make it a focal point for geopolitical maneuvers, with the US seeking to rein Dhaka's policies in favor of its own Indo-Pacific strategy. India's ruling establishment has also pointed to similar mechanisms being employed domestically, particularly with the presence of US links to Indian opposition, including figures such as Rahul Gandhi. The Congress leader's engagements with Western think tanks and his criticisms of India's democratic health and foreign platforms has fueled suspicions that he serves as a conduit for external interests. The timing of the new defunct $21 million grant to India purportedly for voter turnout initiatives has raised alarm about whether such funds were intended to subtly shape the electoral outcomes in favor of opposition forces that align with US strategic preferences. And apart from this, there is something else which you should know also. Earlier also I have spoken many times that WikiLeaks uncovered a massive funding operation by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. And as per a detailed thread on social media platform X, WikiLeaks revealed that USAID funneled around $472.6 million into Internews Network, an international media non-governmental organization. Internews Network operates under the guise of journalistic development. WikiLeaks revealed that Internews Network has provided financial support to over 491 media outlets worldwide, producing extensive media content while engaging in social media censorship and information control strategies in the name of fact-checking. And interestingly, Internews Network also has an India link, exposing a far-reaching attempt to influence narratives in prominent media houses operating in our country. The history of Internews traces back to funding from the Ford Foundation, George Soros, and Omidyar, organizations known as their involvement in politically charged media projects. In fact, George Soros openly announced that he would pump $1 billion to remove Prime Minister Narendra Modi from his post in 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Unfortunately, he failed. So Trump's assertion that the former Biden administration engaged in election interference in India and Bangladesh adds weight to the argument that such foreign aid programs were not purely benevolent initiatives but rather instruments of influence wielded by the US. Deep State. By pulling the plug on these funds, Trump's government effectively neutralizes a channel that could have been used to exert pressure on governments that do not align with Washington's ideological or geopolitical priorities. This breakthrough by Trump vindicates long-standing concerns about US interference in Indian affairs and reinforces the necessity of safeguarding its democratic process from external influences. As global power dynamics continue to shape, the role of foreign aid in geopolitical strategy remains a crucial subject of scrutiny, particularly for nations seeking to assert their sovereignty in the face of external pressures. So friends, this is a really serious issue, and whatever Trump has told yesterday is a matter of investigation also. Government of the Indian government has stopped the foreign funding, checked it, but whatever Congress or other opposition parties are alleging, the government of India must investigate what is truth and what is not. That's all for today. Stay tuned with Uday India and subscribe to Uday India. Thank you.